Let me ask you something. What if I told you that a single nickel, yes, a 5-cent coin, could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a Rolex collection, more than what most people earn in an entire year? Because today, we're talking about a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so unbelievably valuable that only 2 confirmed examples have ever been found. A coin that was never supposed to exist, yet somehow slipped through the most secure minting process in America. This is the story of the legendary 1975 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel, a coin that turned ordinary collectors into treasure hunters overnight. The coin that should have been impossible. To truly understand the legend of the 1975 No-S Proof Nickel, we first need to understand the U.S. Mint's rigid, almost flawless proof-making system. By 1975, proof coins were produced with extreme precision. Special polished dies, hand-selected planchets, mirror-like surfaces, and most importantly, the S Mint mark, showing they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. Every single proof coin from this era, every dime, every quarter, every nickel, must have that S Mint mark. No exceptions, no errors, no mistakes. But somehow, in the middle of this iron-tight, perfection-driven system, a nickel with no mint mark escaped. And that tiny missing letter turned the coin into a multi-million-dollar mystery. How the 1975 No-S Proof Nickel came to exist. Nobody knows the exact moment it happened. But here's the most likely story. At the San Francisco Mint, workers used dies with the S already punched into them. Proof coins were struck in very small batches, and any imperfection meant the coin was melted and remade. But one day, a working die without the mint mark was mistakenly polished and used to strike a handful of proof nickels. How many? Collectors believe between 2 and 5 coins at most. Before anyone noticed, the die was replaced. The coins vanished into sealed proof sets and were shipped across the country. No one knew, not even the mint. And for years, the mistake slept silently inside unopened sets, undiscovered, unknown, and completely unnoticed. The shocking discovery. Fast forward to 1979. A collector was casually opening a standard 1975 proof set when he noticed something strange. The nickel looked perfect. Mirror fields, sharp details, but something was missing. There was no S mint mark. Confused, he checked again. No S. He grabbed a magnifying glass. Still nothing. He sent the coin to experts, and after intense examination, PCGS confirmed it. A genuine 1975 proof nickel without a mint mark. The coin world was stunned. This was something that could not, should not, ever happen. The proofing process was too strict. The quality control was too advanced. The mint mark was too important. Yet here it was, a mistake worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. A second discovery, and the market explodes. Years later, another example appeared, also inside an original government proof set. This meant something huge. It wasn't a single accidental strike. It was an entire micro-run of minting errors, and each surviving coin was now a national treasure. With only 2 certified examples, the 1975 No-S Nickel instantly became one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever, more valuable than many gold coins. A top-tier holy grail of Jefferson Nickels, a dream coin for every collector on Earth. Auction houses reported that whenever one surfaced, the bidding room went silent, not out of boredom, but out of respect. This wasn't just a coin, it was history. Current market value, what it's worth today. The first confirmed example sold for over $20,000 in the early years, but collectors now say that was nothing compared to its real worth. Time passed. Interest grew. Rarity became undeniable. Today, experts estimate 1975 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel value. Lower grade proof, $150,000, $200,000. High grade PF68 plus, $300,000. $600,000, a perfect PF69 or higher. Over $1,000 potential at auction. Remember, there are only 2 known. 2, that's rarer than the 1913 Liberty Nickel, the 1894 S Barber Dime, even some legendary gold errors. This is a modern treasure hiding in plain sight. How to identify one, if you're lucky enough. If you ever find a 1975 proof set, here's what to check. 1. Mirror-like proof finish. This must be a proof strike, not a business strike. 2. No mint mark above Monticello. There should be no S mint mark on the right side of the coin. 3. Crisp details of a proof coin. Deep frosted portrait, black mirror fields, perfect rim and strike. 4. original government packaging. Both known examples came from untouched proof sets. If you ever found one, instant millionaire. No exaggeration. Why it's so rare. Here's the key. For a no-mint mark proof coin to exist, 3 things must happen. A die without the mint mark must be polished for proof striking. It must be used before anyone notices. The resulting coins must escape undetected in sealed sets. This is almost impossible. During the 1970s, mint mark errors in proof coins were extremely rare. 1968 No-S Roosevelt dime, 1970 No-S Proof dime, 1971 No-S Jefferson Nickel, 1975 No-S Roosevelt dime, 1975 No-S Jefferson Nickel, the rarest of them all. These are the royalty of modern mint errors. But the 1975 No-S Nickel, it is the king. Fun facts that make this coin legendary. Only 2 confirmed examples exist. Both were discovered accidentally. It may be the rarest Jefferson nickel ever minted. Its value increases every year because no new discoveries have surfaced. Some collectors believe a few still sit hidden in sealed proof sets. The No-S series is considered the most valuable modern-era family in U.S. history. Imagine opening a 10-proof set and finding $1 million coin inside. That's the power of this nickel. Imagine this. You're going through your grandfather's old drawer. You find a dusty blue proof set from 1975. You open it just out of curiosity, and then you see it. A perfect nickel with no mint mark. Your heart starts racing. Your hands shake. You check again, nothing above Monticello. You take a deep breath and realize you are holding one of the rarest coins in the United States. A life-changing discovery. A true treasure. And that is the unforgettable story of the 1975 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel, a coin so rare that most collectors will never see one in their lifetime. A coin created by accident, lost for years, and today worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you ever come across a 1975 proof set, don't ignore it, because inside there might be a nickel that could change your life. Coin number 2, 1971 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel. This coin is not just scarce. It is extremely rare, so rare that only a handful of examples exist, and every discovered coin has become a legendary treasure among collectors. Today, we are diving deep into the history, origins, rarity, design secrets, and current market value of this extraordinary mint-era proof coin. So sit back and enjoy this rare journey into the world of the 1971 No-S Proof Nickel, one of the most mysterious coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. The story behind the 1971 No-S era. To understand this coin, we first need to talk about how proof coins are made. Proof coins are struck at the San Francisco Mint, and all modern proof nickels, from the late 1960s to the early 1970s, were supposed to carry the mint mark S. This mint mark is the symbol that tells collectors the coin came from San Francisco. But in 1971, something unexpected happened. During the production of proof sets, one of the dies intended for striking proof, Jefferson Nickels, was mistakenly prepared without a mint mark. This means there was no S on the coin, even though every proof nickel that year should have had it. The mistake went unnoticed until the coins were already included in sealed proof sets and shipped out to buyers. Only later, after the sets were in the hands of collectors, did anyone realize that a small number of nickels had escaped the mint carrying no mint mark at all. This was the birth of the 1971 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel. Why this error is so rare. Most mint errors occur on regular circulation coins. Those are common. Millions of coins move through the mint each day. But proof coins, those are manufactured in extremely small controlled batches, meaning very few dies are used. Every die is carefully inspected. The mint mark is hand-punched onto each die. Quality control is extremely strict. Errors on proof dies are almost unheard of, but when they happen, they become treasures. For the 1971 Jefferson Nickel, only one die was accidentally released without the mint mark. When that die was discovered and removed, the damage was already done. Some coins had already been struck and packaged. How many? Experts today believe there are fewer than 200 surviving. Examples possibly even less. Some estimates place the population under 150. This puts the 1971 No-S Nickel among the rarest modern U.S. coins ever produced. What makes this coin special? 1. It's a proof coin error. Most mint errors are circulation strikes. A proof error is dramatically more valuable. 2. Missing mint mark. Proof nickels must have the S mint mark. The missing mark makes this coin a standout rarity. 3. Extremely low population. with fewer than 200 known examples. This is rarer than many historic 1800s coins. 4 high-grade survivors. Because it was only sold in sealed proof sets, most surviving examples remain in excellent condition. 5 growing collector demand. Every few years, a new example surfaces and sells for a record price. Interest has been rising steadily. Understanding the mint mark era. Let's break down exactly how this happened. In 1971, mint marks were still punched by hand onto the dies. This means an employee had to manually stamp the S onto each die before it was used to strike proof coins. If someone forgot to punch the mint mark or used the wrong die, the die would create a perfect mirror-like proof coin, but without the mint mark. This exact mistake happened at least 4 times in U.S. mint history. 1968 No-S Roosevelt dime. 1970 No-S Roosevelt dime. 1971 No-S Jefferson Nickel. 1975 No-S Roosevelt dime. All of these are extremely rare, but the 1971 No-S Nickel stands out because it was the only time the mint created a missing mint mark proof nickel. How to identify a genuine 1971 No-S Proof Nickel. Collectors need to be careful. Some regular nickels are altered to remove the mint mark, but identifying a real one is easy if you know what to look for. 1. A genuine coin has deep cameo or cameo proof finish, sharp edges, mirror-like fields, frosted devices, no evidence of tampering around the area where the mint mark would be. 2. Look for proof diagnostics. The genuine 1971 No-S Nickel has certain known markers, including strong, sharp strike, particular die polish lines in the fields, perfectly smooth area near the right side of Monticello, the mint mark zone. 3. Certification is critical. Due to its rarity and value, most collectors only buy examples graded by BCGS, NGC. A certified coin is far safer than purchasing raw. Market value and auction records. Now let's talk numbers, because this coin is not just rare. It's expensive. Raw, uncertified examples rarely exist, but if found in a proof set, expect $1,000, $2,000 plus. Certified examples. PR65, $3,000, $4,500. PR66, $4,500, $6,000. PR67, $7,000, $12,000. PR68 cameo, deep cameo, $15,000, $30,000 plus. And some sales go even higher. One of the finest known pieces sold for nearly $40,000 at auction. This makes the 1971 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel one of the most valuable modern nickels ever struck. Why collectors love this coin? Rarity. Coins this scarce almost never come from the modern era. Historical error. Proof mint mark errors are among the most interesting mistakes the mint has ever made. Beauty. It carries the full mirror finish, frost detail, and sharp strike of classic proof coins. Investment strength. Prices have increased for decades, with no signs of slowing down. Part of a legendary series. Collectors often pursue the full No-S error set, making this coin essential. The design breakdown. Even though the missing mint mark is the highlight, the design deserves attention. Obverse, Thomas Jefferson. The iconic left-facing portrait by Felix Schlag is rendered in stunning proof detail. Jefferson's hair curls, collar folds, and facial structure appear crisp due to the deep proof strike. Reverse, Monticello. Jefferson's historic home appears with clear architecture, bold lines and mirror-like fields. The steps of Monticello are sharply defined on real examples. No mint mark area. On the right side of Monticello, where the S should appear, you will see a smooth, untouched field. This blank area is what makes the coin famous. How many might still be out there? Even today, collectors continue to wonder, how many undiscovered examples are still sealed inside old 1971 proof sets? The answer is possibly a few, but likely less than 20. Most examples have already been found, certified, and tracked. Still, every time someone opens an old proof set from the 1970s, there is a tiny chance of finding a missing mint-marked treasure. This dream keeps collectors searching. The 1971 No-S Proof Jefferson Nickel is one of the crown jewels of modern American coinage. It represents a rare moment in minting history when a small mistake created a legendary rarity. With its extremely low population, mysterious origins, and stunning proof appearance, this coin has earned a permanent place among the most sought-after U.S. numismatic treasures. If you ever come across a 1971 proof set, check the nickel carefully, because you might just be holding one of the rarest nickels ever made. Coin number 3, 1954 S. Jefferson Nickel, low mintage. One such treasure is the 1954 Jefferson Nickel, a coin famous for its relatively low mintage and surprising value when found in high grade. Today we're diving deep into the history, rarity, design, survival rate, grading, and actual market value of the 1954 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but its story is anything but ordinary. Historical background. The year 1954 was a transitional time in U.S. coinage. America was growing rapidly after W2, and millions of coins were struck to support the booming economy. However, when it came to the San Francisco Mint, operations were slowing down. In fact, just 1 year later, in 1955, the San Francisco Mint stopped striking coins altogether for almost 2 decades. This makes the early 1950s mint coins fascinating for collectors. For Jefferson Nickels, the 1954 became one of the last nickels struck at the San Francisco Mint before its long shutdown. Because of this slowdown, the Mint produced far fewer nickels than usual. Let's put it in perspective. In 1954, the Philadelphia Mint produced nearly 48 million nickels. The Denver Mint produced over 117 million, but the San Francisco Mint, only 29,384,000 nickels. This mintage is much lower than usual for the Jefferson series, creating scarcity, especially in high-grade condition. Why the 1954 nickel is valuable. The value of this coin doesn't come from an era or a special variety. Instead, it comes from a combination of 1. Low mintage. At under 30 million coins, the 1954 has one of the lowest mintages for any regular issue Jefferson Nickel of the 1950s. 2. Low survival in high grade. When these coins were released into circulation, the majority were heavily used. Finding them in MS65 gem or higher is extremely rare. 3. Strike quality problems. San Francisco Mint coins from the early 1950s often suffer from soft strikes. This means weak Monticello steps, poor detail on Jefferson's hair, overall lack of sharpness. Because of this, sharp, fully struck examples instantly become valuable. 4. Full steps, FS designation. This is the biggest factor. Collectors pay massive premiums for nickels with full steps, 5 or 6. On the Monticello building, the 1954 is notorious for being extremely difficult to find in full steps condition, making it a key date for Jefferson Nickel specialists. Saying condition rarity. Even though 29 million were struck, very few survived in MS67, MS67, MS67 Plus, especially with full steps. These high-grade coins are worth thousands. The design details. Even though the value of this coin is based on mintage and condition, its classic Jefferson Nickel design is still an important part of the story. Obverse, front. Created by sculptor Felix Schlag, the obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, clean rounded hair details, his coat collar and shoulder highlights. The motto, "In God We Trust." The word liberty with the date 1954 on 1954's nickels. The obverse strike is often soft, making sharp examples more collectible. Reverse back. The reverse shows Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello. The building appears centered, with the dome and steps visible. The inscriptions, E pluribus unum, Monticello, United States of America. 5 cents. Near the right side of Monticello sits the mint mark S, indicating the San Francisco Mint. A clear, sharp mint mark is a good sign that the coin was well preserved. Rarity and survival estimates. Even though 29 million were minted, the survival picture changes dramatically when we look at condition. Circulated grades, very common. Millions still exist in worn condition. Uncirculated grades, less common. A much smaller number survived untouched. High uncirculated grades, MS65 and above, rare. This is where rarity begins. MS65, hard to find. MS66, very rare. MS67, extremely rare. MS67, full steps nearly impossible. In fact, high-grade full steps examples are so scarce that some collectors spend years searching for just one. Full steps and why it matters. The reverse of the coin shows the steps of Monticello. Collectors use these steps to determine strike quality. Full steps requirements. All steps must be clearly visible. No interruptions. No strike weakness. Nowhere. Only a tiny percentage of 1954 nickels show full, clear steps. This low percentage is why 1954 full steps nickels are sometimes worth 20x more than non-full steps examples in the same grade. Market value and price guide. Now let's talk about the actual market value. Prices vary depending on the condition and whether the coin has full steps. Circulated condition: 2, 8. Uncirculated, MS60, MS63. 15, 30. Gem uncirculated, MS64, MS65. 40, 120. High grade, MS66 plus. 150, 500 plus. Full steps variety. Here's where the value skyrockets. MS64 FS, 150, 250. MS65 FS, $300, $800. MS66 FS, $1,000, $3,500. MS67 FS can reach 10,000 plus when auctioned. This makes the 1954 S one of the most valuable low-mintage Jefferson Nickels in the entire series. Why collectors want this coin? Here's what makes the 1954 S so appealing. Low mintage, a key factor in long-term collector interest. Rare and high grade, especially for nickel collectors building high-end sets. Full steps challenge. Finding a 1954 S? FS is one of the most exciting hunts in the Jefferson series. End of an era. It represents the last years before the San Francisco Mint shut down coin production. Affordable for beginners. Circulated examples are cheap, allowing new collectors to get involved easily. Valuable for professionals. High-grade examples are extremely valuable, making the coin desirable for advanced collectors. How to identify a valuable example? If you have a 1954 S Jefferson Nickel, here's what to look for. 1. Check the mint mark. Look for a clear S on the reverse. 2. Check for full steps. Use a magnifying glass or phone zoom. The more visible the steps, the higher the value. 3. Look closely at the strike. Sharp details, the higher grade. 4. Look for clean surfaces. Fewer scratches and marks mean better grading. 5. Consider grading services. Coins graded by BCGS, NGC usually sell for much higher prices. Auction highlights. Here are some real-world auction results. MS67 non-FS sold for nearly $2,000. MS66 FS sold for $4,500 plus. MS67 FS reached as high as $12,000 at auction. These sales prove how valuable this simple, low-mintage nickel can be. The 1954 S Jefferson Nickel may not be a mint era, may not contain silver, and may not have a missing mint mark. But its rarity comes from something even more timeless. Low mintage plus low survival plus high-grade scarcity. These factors have turned the into a key date for the Jefferson Nickel series, a coin that can be worth a few dollars in average condition, or thousands when preserved in exceptional grade. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, this coin is a must-have for anyone collecting Jefferson Nickels. It represents history, challenge, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt, all in one small, humble nickel. Coin number 4, 1938 D. Jefferson Nickel, key date. When collectors talk about important and historic Jefferson Nickels, one coin always appears at the top of the list, the 1938 D. Jefferson Nickel, a true key date and the very first year of issue for the Jefferson series. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in American coinage and remains one of the most collectible nickels ever minted. Today we're going deep into the history, rarity, design, grading, strike characteristics, and the surprising value behind the 1938 D. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that looks simple but carries enormous importance in the world of numismatics. The birth of the Jefferson Nickel. Before 1938, the Buffalo nickel had been in circulation for 25 years. The U.S. Mint decided it was time for a redesign, both for artistic reasons and because the Buffalo nickel design caused severe dyewear problems. A national design competition was held, and sculptor Felix Schlag won with a portrait of Thomas Jefferson and an image of his home, Monticello. 3 mints struck Jefferson Nickels in 1938. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, but the coin that stood out immediately was the 1938 D, because it had the lowest mintage of all first-year Jefferson Nickels. Why the 1938 D is a key date. The 1938 D earned its key date status for several important reasons. 1. Ultra low mintage. Only 376,000 coins were struck. This is extremely low compared to typical nickel mintages of the time. 2. First-year issue. Collectors love first-year coins, and the 1938 D is one of the most desirable. 3. Strong strike quality. Unlike many other dates, 1938 to D coins often have sharp details, especially on Monticello's steps. 4. Full steps scarcity. Even though the strike quality was good, high-grade full steps examples are rare and command premium prices. 5. Popularity with collectors. The coin is essential in any complete Jefferson Nickel collection. Its low mintage ensures constant demand. These combined factors make the 1938D stand out as a cornerstone of the series. Design breakdown. Obverse, front. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. In God We Trust. Liberty. The date 1938. The Denver Mint Mark D is located on the reverse, not the front. This portrait by Felix Schlag has become one of the most recognizable coin designs in modern U.S. history. Reverse back. The reverse depicts Jefferson's home Monticello, e pluribus unum, across the top. Monticello at the center below the building, 5 cents, United States of America. And on the right side, the D mint mark. Collectors pay special attention to the steps under Monticello. If all steps are sharp and complete, the coin qualifies for the full steps designation, FS. Dramatically increasing value. Strike characteristics. The 1938D Jefferson Nickel is famous for its excellent strikes, especially compared to other years from the 1940s and 1950s where weak strikes are common. Typical quality traits include strong hair details on Jefferson, well-defined Monticello dome, clear windows and pillars, visible step lines, though not always complete. Because the strike quality was above average, collectors pay a lot of attention to tiny differences. Number of steps, strike sharpness, luster type, dipolish lines. Even small differences can dramatically change the grade and the value. Survival and rarity. Even though over 5 million were minted, far fewer survive today in high grade. Circulated condition, common and affordable. Mint state, MS60, MS64, moderately available. High mint state, MS65, MS67, much scarcer. Full steps, FS. This is where rarity explodes. MS65 FS is scarce. MS6F is rare. MS67 FS is extremely rare and valuable. Full steps coin survived in very small numbers because steps are the highest point of the design. Any weak strike, bag mark, or friction damages the steps. Production dies wore down quickly in 1938. This is why collectors pay huge premiums for 1938 DFS nickels. Value and price guide. Here is the current market value for the 1938 D Jefferson Nickel. Circulated grades, $2, SIC, mint state, MS60, MS63, 10, 20. Gem, MS64, MS65, 20, 40. High grade, MS66, MS67, $75, 250. Now the big numbers, full steps values. MS65FS, $80, 150. MS66FS, 250, 500. MS67FS, $1,000, $2,500. MS68FS, rare, sometimes over 5,000 plus at auction, because the steps are so important in grading. Of full steps, example can be worth 10x more than the same coin without full steps. Auction records. Here are some major auction highlights. MS67FS, sold for $1,645. MS68, non-FS, over $4,000. MS67 plus FS, reached nearly $3,000. These high-level sales prove the key date status of the 1938 D nickel, especially when preserved in gem condition. Identifying a high-value example. If you own a 1938 D Jefferson Nickel, here's how to check if it's valuable. 1. Look at the mint mark. Make sure it has a clean D on the reverse. 2. Check for full steps. Use a magnifying glass. Count the lines on Monticello's steps. 3. Look for luster. Original mint luster indicates higher grades. 4. Search for surface marks. Fewer marks, higher grade, higher value. 5. Consider grading. PCGS and NGC certified examples sell for much higher prices. Why collectors love the 1938 D. Collectors treasure this coin for many reasons. First year issue, historical importance. Lowest mintage of the year, key date for the entire Jefferson series. Strong strike quality, affordable for beginners, expensive in high grades. Essential for registry sets. Popular full steps challenges. Whether you're a casual collector or a high-end Jefferson specialist, the 1938 D is a must-have. The 1938 D Jefferson Nickel is more than just a coin. It's a bridge between the past and the future. It marks the beginning of the Jefferson series. features a beautiful design, and holds a permanent place in numismatic history. With its low mintage, strong strike, and rarity in high grade, the 1938D rightfully earns its title as one of the most important Jefferson Nickels ever minted. From a few dollars in circulated condition to thousands of dollars in full steps, gem grades, this coin offers something for every collector. Challenge, beauty, history, and value. Coin number 5, 1994P Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel. In the world of modern U.S. coinage, only a few coins manage to achieve the perfect blend of rarity, beauty, and collector fascination. And among those standout treasures sits the legendary 94P Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel. While millions of standard nickels were minted in 1994 for everyday use, this specific variety was produced in extremely limited numbers and distributed in a very special way. Today we're going to dive deep into its origins, history, value, and what makes it one of the most desirable modern nickels ever created. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the hidden world behind the 1994P Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel. The backstory. To truly appreciate the importance of the 1994P Matte Proof Nickel, we need to understand the era in which it was created. The year was 1994, just 2 years before the U.S. Mint celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Jefferson Nickel's wartime redesign in 1942 as a way to honor Thomas Jefferson and modernize its collector offerings. The U.S. Mint produced a special edition commemorative coin set, the 1993-1994 Thomas Jefferson Coinage and Currency Set. Inside this set was a special silver dollar, a Series 1976 2-bill with a unique green seal, and the star of today's video, the 1994P Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel. Unlike normal proof nickels made with mirrored backgrounds and frosted designs, this matte proof coin had a soft sandblast-style satin texture, sharply defined details, no mirror-like finish, a unique experimental surface treatment. This was the first time in decades the Mint brought back this old matte-style finish, something that had not been used since the early 1900s. This instantly made the coin stand out. How rare is it? Rarity is everything in the world of coin collecting, and the 1994P Matte Proof Nickel scores extremely high. The U.S. Mint produced only 167,703 coins, and every single one of them was placed only inside the special CNC set, meaning none were released for circulation, none sold individually, none came in normal proof or mint sets. This limited release created instant scarcity. Compare this to standard 1994P nickels, where hundreds of millions were minted. The difference is enormous. Because the coin never entered circulation, almost all surviving examples remain in excellent condition. But only the best of the best receive the highest grades from NGC and PCGS, meaning top-tier specimens still hold significant value. Design details. Now let's take a closer look at what makes this nickel visually different. Obverse Jefferson's portrait. Felix Schlag's iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson sits proudly facing left. But on the matte-proof version, every line of his hair, collar, and facial structure appears sharp and crisp. The surfaces have a smooth, burnished texture that absorbs light instead of reflecting it. Look at the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" on this coin. The letters have needle-sharp edges due to the unique production process. Reverse Monticello. Jefferson's famous home is beautifully rendered, appearing bold and well-defined. The matte surface highlights the architectural lines, steps, and columns like no normal nickel could. The inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and 5 cents stand out with strong clarity. Mint mark. The coin carries a P mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. The placement of the mint mark and its clear strike help collectors distinguish it from normal 1994 nickels. How it was made. The 1994P Matte Proof Nickel has a unique production method that sets it apart. Minting process highlights. Struck on specially prepared planchets, hit with higher pressure than normal circulation coins, given a sandblast or matte-style finish, not mirror-polished like traditional proof coins. Each coin inspected for uniform texture. This process created a coin that is unlike anything produced in the 1990s. The result is a hybrid somewhere between a classic matte proof and a modern satin finish. Collectors instantly noticed the difference, and the coin's popularity skyrocketed. Why collectors love it? 1. Extremely low mintage, just 167,703 coins. that instantly places it among the rarest modern nickels. 2. Exclusive distribution. You couldn't buy it as a single coin, only inside the CNC set. 3. Unique matte finish. It does not resemble regular proof or uncirculated nickels. It's truly a category of its own. 4. Early modern rarity. The 1990s have very few low-mintage US coins. This one stands out dramatically. 5. Strong investment potential. Prices have steadily increased over time, especially for high-grade examples. Market value and pricing. Now let's move to the part everyone wants to know. How much is it worth today? Values depend heavily on condition and grading. Raw, non-graded examples, 30, 60 odd depending on condition. Certified by NGC or PCGS. MS, specimen, 67, 100, 150 toys. MS SP 68, $200, 350. MS SP 69, $400, 800 plies. The highest grades are extremely rare. Many collectors hunt specifically for SP 69 examples because they represent nearly flawless strikes. Some top-graded specimens have sold for over $1,000 at premium auctions. How to identify a real one? Due to its rising value, fake versions occasionally appear online. Here's how to ensure the coin is genuine. 1. Texture. The matte surface is smooth and satin-like. It's not shiny. 2. Strike quality. The lettering and Monticello details are crisp, with no weak areas. 3. Provenance. The coin originally came from 1994 Thomas Jefferson coinage and currency set. If the seller includes the original packaging, that's a big plus. 4. Grading. The safest option is always buying a coin certified by NGC or PCGS. Why this coin matters in numismatic history. The 1994 Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel represents an important transitional moment. It marks the beginning of the US Mint experimenting with special finishes and limited edition collector sets. After the success of this coin, the Mint later released similar matte and satin finish coins, including the famous 1997 Botanic Garden Matte Finish Jefferson Nickel. In other words, this 1994 coin is the grandfather of modern special finish nickels. Collectors view it as a milestone, a turning point, a bold experiment that paid off. And for anyone building a complete Jefferson Nickel collection, this coin is absolutely essential. The 1994 Matte Proof Jefferson Nickel is not just a coin, it's a masterpiece of modern minting. With its low mintage, unique finish and rising value, it remains one of the most exciting coins for collectors today. Whether you own one already or are considering adding it to your collection, this nickel represents a beautiful blend of rarity, art, and history. And that's what makes coin collecting so rewarding, the stories behind the metal. If you've watched till the end, congratulations! You've just explored 5 of the most valuable and rare Jefferson Nickels ever discovered. From the legendary 1975 No-S Proof Nickel to the mysterious 1971 No-S Proof, the ultra-premium 1994 Matte Proof, the low-mintage treasure 1954S, and the historic key date 1938D Jefferson Nickel. Each one of these coins proves just one thing. Never underestimate the power of a small coin, because even a simple nickel sitting in someone's drawer could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars today. So next time you get change from a store, or open an old jar of coins at home, remember, your fortune might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss another video about valuable US coins that could change your life. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting, and may your next coin be the rare one.